The night was approaching. As the sun went down, only a little light remained on the mountaintops. The fishy smell of blood lingered in the air, and Mion's voice was still ringing in my ears. I felt like I was about to drift off into the sky. Mion's long hair fluttered in the wind and struck my feet. Reina was kneeling with Mion's head in her lap, stroking Mion's hair.
人って死んじゃうんだね。
Reina gazed at Mion's lifeless lips and spoke in a nonchalant tone, in a voice that sounded like she'd already forgotten what she had done with her own hands.
みーちゃんはね、レナが引っ越してきた時、初めて声をかけてくれた子なんだよ。
The people of Hinamizawa had a strong bond with one another, but tended to treat outsiders coldly. Well, gee, given what the outsiders are doing to the people of their town... Even though Reina was originally from Hinamizawa and she only spent a relatively short time outside the villagers still treated her like an outsider when she returned. Come to think of it, was it any different for me? Maybe it was because of Dad's strong personality, or maybe it was because I made some good friends at school, but I was fortunate enough that it never caused any issues. However, Mom had to regularly interact with villagers face to face, so it was probably really hard on her in the beginning.
引っ越してくる前の学校でいろいろあってね。あの頃、レナはちょっと辛かったんだよね、精神的に。一からやり直そうと思ってこっちに来たのに、前に住んでいた町と全然違うから、どうしていいのかわからなかった。不安でいっぱいの中、初めて学校へ行ってね、みーちゃんに会ったの。初めてレナに声をかけてくれたのはみーちゃんだった。
レナって言うんだ。いい名前だね。困ったことがあるなら何でもいいなよ。この村では隠し事なんかしてもすぐにバレちゃうんだから。そんな不安そうな顔しなくても大丈夫だよ。私に任せときなって。
レナは家族のことでちょっと悩んでたんだけど、そんな悩み事打ち明ける必要なんて全くなかった。レナの家族について悪い噂を流そうとする人もいたみたいなんだけど、みーちゃんがそういうのは全部レナの耳に入らないようにしてくれたみたい。毎日一緒に学校に行って、リカちゃんやサトコちゃんや他のお友達の仲間に入れてくれて、みーちゃんと一緒にいるとレナの悩み事なんてすごくちっぽけなことに思えてくる。
It was, but I mean, considering the original name only, you only had to cut an I out of it to get Reina.
レナにここで両足でしっかり立って生きていく勇気をくれたんだよ、みーちゃんは。
Reina let out a brief sigh while gently stroking Mion's hair. The smell of Mion's shampoo tickled my nose as the breeze carried it over. Somehow, despite coming from a corpse, it was a lovely scent.
あんなに優しかったのに、あんなに頼りになる仲間だったのに。ねえ、ケイチ君、どうしてこんなことになっちゃったんだろうね。
Reina twirled Mion's hair around her finger as she asked me that. Why did this happen? I didn't understand it either. I couldn't answer Reina's question. There was no way I could answer that. So I simply bowed my head and remained silent. Mion's hair slipped through Reina's fingers in a gentle arc.
何が間違ってたんだろうね。 どこで歯車が狂っちゃったんだろう。レナは何を間違えたんだろう。どうしてだろうね。
Reina went on, talking to herself. I felt the same way. I had mixed feelings as I gazed at Mion's closed eyes, knowing they would never open again. Just then, I thought I caught a glimpse of one of her eyelashes moving. I stared intently at Mion's eyelashes.
どうしてだろうね。ね、ケイイチくん。ケイイチくん。
There was no way Mion could open her eyes. She's not going to move because Mion's already dead, right? I just kept staring at her closed eyes. Lovely Mion. She was our friend. But Mion killed Shion and Satoko, then impersonated Shion while trying to kill us, in order to carry out the curse of Oyashiro-sama. There was no point in figuring out who failed or what went wrong. Oyashiro-sama's existence was the cause of all the problems in this village. It was all Oyashiro-sama's fault. Oyashiro-sama was the one manipulating Mion.
ケイイチくん、大丈夫？顔色が悪いみたいだよ。そろそろ帰ろうか。
I blame Keiichi could apply to just about everything in this. Really. Reina quietly slid Mion's head off her knees and onto the ground. I took a deep breath, then slowly got up. As I got up, dust floated into Mion's beautiful hair. A person who was alive just this morning was lying there dead. Lying unprotected on this mountain of trash, unable to resist the dust collecting on her. I felt sorry for Mion. It was Oyashiro-sama's meddling that got her killed. How unfortunate. All things considered, killing Mion wasn't one of our biggest problems.
間違いとかそんなんじゃないんだと思う。これがミオンの運命だったんだ。
Yeah, not like we were just sitting there stroking the hair of a corpse for a while. We didn't do that, did we? I said that, trying to convince myself of that. Mion was just a pawn of Oyashiro-sama. She was destined to die. It couldn't be helped. It couldn't be helped.
運命。こんな死に方がみーちゃんの運命だったんだ。
Reina meekly lifted her head to respond to my comment. She wiped the blood from Mion's cheeks with her slender fingertip, then turned to me with a cruel light in her eyes. Then, a chill ran down my back. Reina, what were you thinking just now? Reina was quickly going distant from me. What is she thinking? Then I remembered. Reina was the kind of person who could put on a cheerful smile right after killing a person. But right now, her face looks so sad. So what is she thinking? As I pondered the best way to ask Reina what she meant, she interrupted with words of her own.
帰ろうか。
Let's go home. Well, I'm going to go home. I'm killing you on the way. My timing was off.
どうしたのケイイチくん。ぼんやりしてるみたいだよ。元気出してほしいな。
Reina gave me her usual smile while trying to encourage me.
俺は元気だぞ。
That defensive answer was the best I could muster. I was frustrated that Reina had taken the lead in this conversation. I missed my chance to get a read on Reina's true feelings, and saying something foolish now would only make things worse. I stealthily looked over at Reina's expression, desperately trying to get a handle on her real intentions. What was that face you made a little while ago? What were you thinking? No way, Reina? Were you thinking about me? Reina maintained the smile on her face while slightly tilting her head to the side.
そっか。ケイイチくんが元気ならよかった。
Yeah, Keiichi cannot read the hint he himself said less than, 5 minutes prior. He just didn't catch on.
元気じゃないとレナも悲しくなっちゃうしね。
俺が元気だとどうなるんだ？
If I wasn't feeling fine, would that cause problems for Reina?
元気ならいいと思うな。
Reina made a sweet smile. She was smiling at me to convey that she understood. The two of us are accomplices in the murders of Teppei and Mion. Murder is a sin that we'll have to carry on our backs for the remainder of our lives. In one case, give or take 15 minutes. That's why she's able to smile and maintain a superficial relationship. We'll have to get along for the rest of our lives. And yet, just what on earth was Reina up to? Feeling of distrust towards Reina were bubbling up.
じゃあ行こっか。
Reina rose to her feet. I noticed a brief glimmer near the hem of her skirt. It looked like she was adjusting the hem of her skirt, but I caught a glimpse of something hidden behind her back. The hatchet? The same hatchet that drew Mion's blood earlier? The blood in my body receded as I began to understand what that meant. Why, Reina? Why are you hiding that hatchet from me? I looked down at Mion on the ground. The blood flowing out had completely dried up. Reina, are you planning to kill me with that hatchet too? I glanced over at Reina once more, but she was just staring vacantly at Mion's body. Even so, that hatchet Reina kept hidden was the only thing that spoke to her true feelings. The burden of being an accomplice will last a lifetime. It was a heavy bond, stronger than marriage. Just imagining it made me feel dizzy. Can you imagine if these two get married because they're murder accomplices? I mean, it's never going to happen because she's going to kill him, or he's going to kill her within the next few days. But can you imagine if they, stick together and have to get married because of this eventually later in life? That'd be one hell of a tense relationship, wouldn't it? Reina gently moved her hands. Was she moving the hatchet? I swallowed a gulp of saliva. Come to think of it, where did I put that kitchen knife I was carrying till a little while ago? I looked around, but I couldn't see it. Yeah, it could be a Junji Ito story. I kept looking and looking, but oddly enough, I didn't see the kitchen knife anywhere. When I noticed Reina gazing in my direction, I quickly looked up towards the sky to hide my vexation.
みーちゃんをここに残しておくわけにはいかないよね。
My wandering gaze halted when I heard Reina's stern voice. We can't leave Mion here. You mean moving the corpse? Why? Nobody comes here. Safer here than anywhere else, isn't it? I couldn't comprehend what Reina was thinking when she said that.
どこに持ってくんだよ？
I carefully tried to keep my dismay from coming out. Maybe she wanted to bury her somewhere like we did with Teppei Hojo? Was there a chance she wanted to kill me too?
みーちゃんをさとこちゃんとしーちゃんの近くで眠らせてあげよう
We're
よ。
gonna carry her all the way back to goddamn town. Reina spoke to Mion in a gentle voice. It was an affectionate voice, like a mother addressing her child. Reina's voice made me feel a little better for a moment. I felt ashamed of myself for doubting her. But was Reina truly speaking from the bottom of her heart right there? After some internal debate, I decided she was lying. Reina was the type of person who could lie without flinching. Up until now, after killing Teppei and after killing Mion, I noticed something a little off. Reina was the sort of person who could skillfully wear one face while concealing another. So it would be better not to carelessly trust everything Reina says. My heart started to feel lighter as I pondered that. I started to relax after admitting to myself that I shouldn't trust Reina. If that's the case, it makes things easy. Just don't trust Reina. I need to consider my next move with that premise in mind. It was far easier than being lost in a cycle of wanting to trust her but unable to do it. Shion and Satoko should still be resting in the Hojo house. When the police get around to investigating the house, their investigation might derail under the assumption that Mion was killed there. Despite how compassionate Reina looked, my mind was thinking meticulously, so I nodded to her in a manner that made it seem like her kindness got through to me.
そうだな。みんなと一緒の方がミオも安心するよな。
I had a distant look in my eyes while staring vacantly at Mion. Her neck was bent at a sad angle, so I looked down and bit my lip in regret. The next struggle for survival had already begun. I held my breath while waiting for Reina's reaction. Not sure if she noticed it or not, but she started to walk completely silently. The yard in front of Reina's house was packed full of junk, like always. It was rather far from Satoko's house. We came here to pick up the pushcart so we could carry Mion to Satoko's house.
リアカーどこに置いてあったっけな。
Reina sifted through a pile of junk while searching for the cart. The yard was almost as cluttered as the garbage mountain we were at earlier. We used that cart the other day to bring the Colonel Randy doll here, didn't we? Colonel Randy? Is that what it's called here? Did they actually call it Colonel Randy before? I don't recall that. I don't remember. I thought so, but I stopped myself before saying anything. This entire area was packed with items that Reina collected on a daily basis. Well, if rumors ever started going around calling this the garbage house, I couldn't exactly object. I pretended to help Reina search for the cart while carefully searching the area. The house seemed awfully quiet. I wonder if anyone's home. Though I was looking around restlessly, my eyes stopped when Reina called out to me in a sharp voice.
ケイチ君、お茶とか飲むかな。
No, thank you. Reina looked at me while searching the back of the shed.
別にいらないけど。
My throat was dry, but I wanted to avoid giving Reina an opportunity to escape from my line of sight. Also, not wanting to give her an opportunity to poison me. I still wasn't sure what Reina was thinking, so I needed to carefully monitor her movements. Because I couldn't trust Reina.
いらないんだ。せっかくお茶でも入れてあげようと思ったのにな。いらないんだ。
No thanks. Not right now.
レナのこと、ひょっとして信用してないのかな。
Not a chance! Even though Reina should have been standing in the back of the shed, I found her standing right beside me, glaring at me with a horrifyingly distrusting look in her eyes.
なんだよ。レナを信じないで誰を信じろって言うんだよ。
My knife, which I misplaced? I tried to laugh it off, but my face struggled to play along.
そうだよね。レナもケイチ君のこと信じてるよ。絶対に何があってもね。
Reina's facial expression didn't change at all. I trust you too. I wanted to say that, but I couldn't get the words out of my throat.
見つけたんだよ、リアカ。埋もれててわからなかったけど、ほら。
Reina banged on the rails of the cart. It was covered in a blue tarp.
そう。じゃあ行こうか。俺が引いてやるよ。
I offered to pull the cart instead of Reina. Suddenly, Reina's shoulders twitched prominently enough that I could notice it from 50 centimeters away. 50 centimeters is not that great a distance. It's like 2 feet. I'm sorry, but, 2 feet. And during that time frame, the blue tarp of the cart seemed to move slightly. Reina immediately pushed the tarp down, but I clearly saw it. I saw a familiar-looking kitchen knife right next to Reina. It was the knife I was looking for a while ago. The same knife that sucked the blood from Satoko and Shion, then stabbed Mion in the heart. I was looking everywhere for it, but I had no idea that Reina was secretly carrying it. Reina had somehow found it and secretly tucked away without me realizing.
あ、いいよ。レナ一人で大丈夫だから。
Uh-huh.
みーちゃんを乗っけたら、ケイチくんにも手伝ってもらおうかな。はう？
Reina shamelessly donned her cute mode. It was painful to look at. Reina, what do you plan on stabbing with that kitchen knife? Let me rephrase that. Who do you plan on stabbing?
ケイチくん、どうしたの？
You've got a knife.
怖い
That's
顔
what's
して
wrong.
るけど、何か考え事かな？
You're one to talk about scary looks on faces.
気のせいだろ。行こ
As I said that, I quickly surveyed the area. It looked like Reina was hiding her hatchet earlier. Where'd it go? Reina brought it home with her, right? Was she preparing the knife because she didn't want to use the hatchet? That's too bad, Reina. I'll be the one to grab that hatchet. My eyes stopped on the shadow of the shed. I could see the blade of the hatchet hidden there.
う。後ろを押してやるよ。
I moved around to the back of the cart without saying anything more.
ああ、ケイチくん、そんなに押したら向きが曲がっちゃうよ。
Reina started walking forward, pulling the cart to straighten it out. She adjusted the angle of the cart so it was no longer facing the shed. I swiftly grabbed the hatchet from the shadow of the shed and gently set it down in the cargo bay without making a sound. And on the other side of the cart, I caught a glimpse of the knife Reina had hidden earlier.
リアカーって何も乗ってないのに結構重いよね。
Reina quickly turned back and pulled the tarp down. Did she notice something? There's no point hiding it now. I already know there's a kitchen knife hidden there. The question is, why?
疲れてるから余計そう感じるんじゃないのか。レナ、無理するなよ。大丈夫か？リアカー引くのいつでも代わってやるぜ。
I even surprised myself with how gentle my voice came out. At this point, I know Reina has the kitchen knife, but Reina doesn't know that I have the hatchet. The fact brought me a small amount of relief. I was in the superior position here, or at least I should be.
大丈夫だよ。今日のケイチくん、とびきり優しいかも。
Oh yeah, it's me, Mr. Kindness.
はう、それじゃあ甘えていいのかな？かな？
Reina looked back at me while pulling the cart, with a sweet smile, but her eyes weren't smiling.
甘え方にもよるな。
I flashed her a big smile.
ケイチくんの意地悪。はう。
Our shadows melted into the dusk. This was a matter of survival. This was the only way to break the heavy shackles of our collusion. Kill before being killed. That's one of the basic rules of survival. If Reina is willing to go that far, I'm prepared to fight. And I'm definitely going to win. As I decided that, I gazed at the bulge on the tarp where the hatchet was hiding underneath.